Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop the presses. We need to start that over again. This is UFO Buster Radio, episode number 289. And it's funny because just before I hit start, I said, every time I'm off for a while, I seem to like screw up something. And there you go. The intro had already started before I started broadcasting. So, take two and go. There you go. The full intro now. This is, again, episode 289, UFO Buster Radio. I am your host, Manny Moonraker. You know, it's weird because it's been a couple of years since folks have even mentioned the Moonraker part. Like, no one questions it anymore. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if just that I've lost the interest of folks, that they really don't care, but that's what it is. So welcome to the episode. I know it's Wednesday. I'm like way behind on the episodes. But tomorrow, if you are someone that likes to stay up late, and because you got nothing better to fucking do, or you can't sleep, 10 p.m. Central on Spreaker. Just look at the description. You'll see the link. It's in there. Scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll find it. I will be live, and I'm going to try this for a month, thanks to Gutter. 1 month, 4 Thursdays, 10 p.m. Central. I'll have some news reports, and if you call in or you chime in on the chat, you know, we can chew the fat for a little bit. Not too long, because I'm getting up there in years, so I like to get my cat naps as well. But you'll be able to call in. By the way, someone did call in. The call-in number is 972-290-1329. Or you can use the Skype ID to call in also if you want to save some, money in calling in. Which right now, if you're calling in the U.S., it's totally free anyway. But if you're calling from overseas, you can use Skype instead to call. If you're interested, that ID is also in the description, so you can check that out. But somebody called like 4 or 5 times, leaving clips of a film or so, I don't know. Listen, I get it. Sometimes we have nothing to do. Well, we're on the shitter. But if you're on there, you know, before you leave the messages, just state your name. Hi, I'm Fred. Just got out of AA and I decided I'd call you. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is. I don't care where you were. To be honest, if your grandma got mad at you and started yelling at you and you felt like you needed to do some prank calls to UFO Buster Radio, just let me know who you are. That way I can enjoy it with you. If you decide, if you're driving down the road stuck in traffic, like if you're like in one of those metropolitan cities, like, you know, like Dallas, New York, somewhere, everywhere in fucking California. If you're out there, you have nothing better to do, call and leave me a message. I will accept it. I promise you. By the way, Gutter is on right now. He says, "What's up, Manny?" And he's at the, as they say, he's working right now because he's got a job, as most of us do. And listening. Thank you, Gutter, and thanks to you. 10 p.m. will be the time for tomorrow. And this will be the place. So I've been off a few days, and today I had a fascinating conversation with someone regarding the podcast itself. You know, earlier when I first started the podcast, we talked about things that are on the other side of the paranormal spectrum. We talked about, you know, ghosts and demons, you know, the black-eyed children and stuff like that. And we also wanted to get into, you know, folks that like to predict the future and shit. And what's funny is, as much as Big O and myself tried to get someone like a psychic or somebody to come on the damn podcast. The majority of them said no. Well, there's no fun in that, right? So today someone was asking me about this. Why don't you do things like conspiracy theories? Yeah, fuck, UFOs, most of it is conspiracy theories. But why don't you do something specifically to conspiracies, and maybe even, ghosts and demons and, oh my. I really like the idea. I think it's something I might even consider for starting early next year, but keeping it separate from the UFO topic, because the UFO topic is hot. Space, UFOs, planets, it's a hot topic. So I really want to intermingle the two, but hey, I am good for a few ghosts and demons and all those kind of stories, because there's a ton of them out there which are not explored. And some people think that there is a connection between what folks experience when it comes to aliens and abductions and what people call spiritual, paranormal stuff from the other side, from beyond the veil, as they like to say. But enough of that. Let's get into the first news report. Let's just do it. So Garter says yes, he is a blue-collar worker. And listen, I think most of us are. They listen to any of these types of shows because, the rich people, they get their information from somewhere else. But yeah, that's what this show is about. It's trying to find an understanding of this topic from a blue-collar perspective and kind of break it down to stuff we can all understand, argue about, call each other names about, shit like that. That's the way it goes anyway, right? A lot of folks just get way too into the topic. They're too passionate about that shit. And it turns out going south. But we should all keep our eyes on the prize when it comes to ufology. The first article for today, don't kill the messenger. But it turns out that there is a UFO associated with Lufthansa. Right, out of Frankfurt, Germany. There appears to be an issue. Yeah, turns out that the union for the attendants, the flight attendants for Lufthansa, they're named UFO. Like I said, don't kill the messenger. I thought it was a cute story. Come on, they rubber dicked me and they clickbaited me, so I'm clickbaiting you right now. And if you're in Germany, you know all about this. UFO. Not the shit that flies. Well, shit, they probably all do fly because they represent flight attendants, so who knows. UFO said that they're going to have a 48-hour strike that's going to be held from November the 6th all the way down to November 8th for 2 days because their people are not getting paid enough. And they might be losing their pensions. Blue-collar stuff. Like somehow this particular article got the blue-collar madness, the sadness of being blue-collar in the world, together with the issue of UFO. My thing is, why in the fuck would they call it UFO? I don't know if it's an accident. Maybe it's a language thing. Because I really couldn't find what UFO stood for, if it was an acronym. The way it's written, it doesn't look like an acronym. It just looks like it's UFO. Very strange. Like anything else, the company decided that these blue-collar folks can kiss their ass and UFO can go fuck off. Because they took to Twitter saying that they're strongly condemning the move and the steps against the company because they're working with them. They have a special plan. Sounds like Lufthansa just got abducted. And the company's about to get probed. by this particular group. Again, if for no other reason, this is the plight of the blue-collar employee, no matter where the fuck you are. The big companies are always going to try to screw you. Now listen, I'm not saying that that these particular groups like unions are the end-all be-all, always looking out for the middleman. There are some of them that look out for the folks that run them, but it's like any other fucking organization, right? You just got to be careful who you deal with. But there's an example of the madness throughout the world. It's not just, if you live in the United States, it's not just here. People are fighting to survive and make ends meet. And a lot of these companies really could give two shits about their blue-collar employees. Yeah. Let's go to a song. Because if anything, as a blue-collar employee, this should tell you the world is on fire in many different ways.
Give you
That is such an angry song, no doubt about it. But you won't hear shit like that on any other podcast that deals with the topic of UFOs. Probably why I don't have that many people listening to begin with. Hashtag no fucks are given. This next particular article kind of goes to the heart of what I'm talking about most of the time. And at least one article of this type crosses my path weekly. And then I go on a rant about science and the craziness that people try to do. And, you know, I just had a question. Would scientists be considered somewhat blue collar? Probably not, right? Because they're all educated and shit. So, I don't know. Because some of them do behave like they are. You know, like they were transplants and they're trying to reject the system or some shit like that. This article is asking an important question which no one should give two shits about. The question is, do we need a special language to talk to aliens? What a fantastic idea. Like, we don't have a universal communicator. There's nothing to really, translate for us. I mean, we can't even use Google's translators. We can't use the Googles here because it's not even going to know what the fuck they're saying. But that's the question. When we come across ET, how will we communicate? There's one idea that we've been broadcasting radio and television for so fucking long that they will essentially pick up our language from what we've transmitted over the decades. But there's a few intrepid scientists, groups, that have actually decided, as far as, about 3 decades ago, they've taken it upon themselves to basically transmit to specific locations in the universe, areas where they believe there may or may not be life, but close enough to the planet to where if there's a response, we might see it in their lifetime. And that's a big fucking might. According to this particular article, the link is in the description. Scientists have tried to contact ETs a number of times using linguistic systems. So the article is saying, are we better off just using our own fucking languages? And here's one particular situation. In May of 2018, just last year, the area known as Tromsø, Norway, for you guys from Norway who are listening, Tromsø, Norway, the radar facility trained its antennas on GJ237B. Why would you say that? Why would anyone put their antennas to that place? It doesn't even have a fucking name. Apparently, it was identified as a potential for life on that planet, one of those habitable exoplanets, and it's only located, I said only, but you guys know what I think already, 12 light years from the planet Earth. Yeah, over the course of 3 days, they were bumping their music, aiming specifically at GJ237B. And they were hoping that maybe something might be on that planet or someone to receive it. It's a funny thing about scientists, right? Because could you imagine, right? So they're sitting there, they're pumping their shit, whatever the fuck it is. Probably that might be a wrong choice of words, but anyway. So they're in there and they're broadcasting this to this particular spot in the sky to a planet 12 light years away. What do they do? I mean, today, they have over, 10 and a half years before the fucking signal even gets there. And then if there's a response, if by some miracle at 10.5 years from now, there's a response. Now, think about it. So if you're ET, you're on a planet, You get this signal. You're thinking, what the fuck am I going to do? Well, let's look at the way our scientists work. They get the signal. They sit around. The first day, they're fucking shocked as hell. They get everybody. They scurry around. And they continue to listen. The next day, it happens again. Oh, fuck. We've got something here. You know, they chime in. They sit around. They talk about it. They start getting papers together. The third day, fuck, another signal. This is no fucking accident now. So then they'll sit around for the next, for maybe decade, trying to figure out what the fuck the signal was. What are they saying to us? Is this an accident? Is this one of those fast bursts? You know, so you can imagine all the little aliens are sitting around and trying to figure this shit out. And so another 10 years go by. So now you're Poindexters. You guys that sent the fucking message, you're looking at, from today, 20 and a half years. So finally the little aliens get their shit together and they say, hey, fuck it, let's just go send some shit back. Fuck those motherfuckers. They can't be the only ones sending shit around. So they get together and they send us a message. 12 years later, the message gets here. By that time, all the rubber dickers who sent the original message, half of them are probably fucking dead. No one's even listening to that fucking planet anymore. No one gives a fuck. So what exactly did we just do? Why are we sending messages no one's going to be around for? That's just my question. You guys might see this a little different. You might think, hey, man, I mean, come on. Some of these guys might be young. They could be in their mid-20s. Yeah, they could wait fucking 30 years for the message to come back. Hell fucking no. They're not going to wait. They're going to forget about that shit. No one's going to care. That's the truth of it. By that time, Elon and his boys, they're going to be on Mars. We'd be a few hops away from Jupiter and Saturn by then. No one gives a fuck about this planet. Hell, by the time we get the message back, we still won't be able to reach those motherfuckers anyway. So we're going to sit around and send another 12-year message away? Fuck no. This is what I call a waste of resources. A complete and total waste. But I'm sorry about that rant because some of you kind of love this stuff. So let's continue. So so May 2018, that's when they sent the first one. They were all excited about it. Let's get this message up there. And then there was a second iteration of what they call the sonar calling to that particular planet, GJ273b. And it came from the project known as METI International. It turns out that the transmissions, both of them, were billed, according to them, as music lessons for aliens. Okay. I don't know. I mean, in the movies, they say that, music is the universal language, and then some fuckers go and tell you it's math, so you guys figure the fuck out. I don't know which one it is. The second broadcast was for, it's crazy, rehabilitating extraterrestrial language developed by physicists Ivan Dutil and Stefan Dumbass. I know it's Dumas. I like Dumbass better. They put together this so-called language back in the 1990s, so that's what the fuckers at METI decided to send up in 2017. I can't imagine that anyone... First of all, I can't even imagine that the fucking thing would get there to begin with. It really, again, I think it's a waste of time, no matter how you put it. Let's get the money back to the people and stop fucking around. Anyway, so there was another time, about 25 years before that, when someone attempted at interstellar communication through Arecibo. Yeah, you guys know Carl Sagan, Frank Drake. Yeah, they sent a message from Arecibo. Guess what, fuckers? I don't think we've had a response yet, and if somebody did, they didn't fucking tell us. The only thing the article doesn't say is where the fuck did Carl Sagan send that message 25 years ago. Because really, if you think about it, if he sent it to the same planet, we should have fucking had a message by now. But by my theory, the little fucking aliens are still thinking about whether or not they should respond and how to respond. So we probably got another 10 years in between while they figure that shit out, because that's what we do. We sit around and think about this shit 4,000 ways to Sunday before we even act on it. Because we got to write papers, have it peer reviewed, get funding, do all kind of shit, then study the thing for a couple, 2-3 years, then say, yeah, let's do something about it, then get funding to do something about it. I mean, the red tape is unbelievable. And the effort is lackluster as far as I'm concerned. But like, again, some of you guys like that. So let's continue with the story. Shit, could you imagine sending a fucking message to someone that needed to hear it and waiting 30 fucking years for a response? That's just ridiculous. That's like freaking taking a message in a bottle and throwing it into the ocean, hoping somebody on the other side of Europe somewhere gets that shit and then takes a message and takes it to the person that needs to hear it. So they can throw a fucking bottle back and hopefully you'll get it. That's basically what we're doing. Ridiculous. All that money spent. I want to know how much money they spent on all these projects. That's what I want to know. And really, to me, the language, alien language should be Blue Steel or the Moab. One of those will work. They'd understand what we're talking about. Some of the other things that the article says that in a lot of ways, there's a good chance that the planet filled with ETs would be quite different from our own. No duh. Yeah. Because they would have adapted to their environment a lot different than that of the planet Earth. I get it. That makes total sense to me. No arguments there. But here's something that they said in this article that throws me for a loop as everything else. And that is that the person that wrote this says that ET probably still, even though they were developed, evolved differently, their environment might be completely different, that they would still have to adhere to the same laws of physics. And hashtag the same constraints of time, energy, resources. So because of those things, it would be reasonable to assume that extraterrestrial evolution might arrive at similar solution to these common problems, such as a brain, which I feel like mine is burned out just from this article, of wielding recursive language. I want you guys to take that in for a second, especially you guys who always, you kind of salivate whenever you hear that Einstein's theories are being challenged and proven wrong. And anyone that is a superstar of physics, laws of science, because every other year someone's trying to prove them wrong, saying, oh, there was a glitch. Maybe he didn't know about this particular factor, or maybe there was some other confounding factor that they didn't take in consideration. Yeah. We don't even know our own fucking physics. Most of it is fucking theory. So how can we assume, because that makes an ass out of you and the scientists, that any other planet, especially an exoplanet, would have the same laws of physics? Fuck, we don't even know if the next galaxy has the same laws of physics or something on the other side of the universe. What if this planet is sitting in the middle of dark matter? Would that change the laws of physics? Come on. What's really going on here? It's like they're trying to poison us with nonsense. That's the episode for today. Listen, make sure that you stop by tomorrow at 10 p.m. If you're not, call that number, 972-290-1329. Leave me a message. Just not some random shit, because it drives me insane. Like, I want to know who the fuck is calling. I want to know. If there is a lot of information in this article, by the way, that I just talked about with the being able to speak to ET. The link is in there. Go ahead and check it out if you got time. If you're on the shitter and you're having trouble letting it go. You got some time to kill because you had too much cheese the day before. Go ahead and check it out. Don't strain yourself for no fucking reason. Just let it go slow. Read the article. It's got a lot of good information in it. This is Manny Moonraker. I'm checking out till tomorrow at 10 p.m. I'm going to be here, and that is Central Standard Time. But I'll be here. You can call in. You can chat. And, hey, we might just discover something new. Because ain't nobody like you.
Jump into the car on a Friday night. I wanna drive with you. Looking for a bar in the nearest town. I've never seen a sky so blue. We don't ever play it and the night is young. It doesn't matter what we do. There ain't nobody like. There ain't nobody like. You look so beautiful. And I'm so lucky to be yours. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down. Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. Talking about yourself and you make me smile. I can listen all night long. I tell you about the time when I first met you, listening to our favorite song. Walking on the street when you caught my eye. Something about the way you move. No, there ain't nobody like. There ain't nobody like. So lucky to be yours. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down. Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. 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 Jump into the car on a Friday night. I wanna drive with you. Looking for a bar in the nearest town. I've never seen a sky so blue.